You better remember this name, Latu Latu. Lautu Latu. Crevonte. I don't know how I did. I probably butchered it. But Laiatu Latu, they're going to know his name after this profile. And the guy they should keep in their heads as we move through the draft, as he is a prospect that could be one of the steals, especially as a pass rusher. And which is not a deep pass rusher class, but it has some good guys at the top.
Yes, for sure. We talked about guys like Dallas Turner and Chop Robinson, but he's uh he's right there in the mix, and there's I think somebody's going to get lucky towards maybe the back end of the first round picking up this guy.
He has an interesting story. He's a senior out of Sacramento, went to UCLA, 6'5", 259, 9 5/8 inch hands, 32 and 5/8 inch arms. He ran a 4.64 40, not bad, 1.62 10, 32 inch vertical, 9 8 inch broad jump. And 2019 Washington played in 12 games, 16 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss. 2020 did not play due to a neck injury. Keep that in mind. 2021 did not play. Doctors would not clear him due to the neck injury in 2020. 2022 he did return, all Pac-12, led team with 12.5 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, which was eighth in FBS, 3 forced fumbles, played in 13 games as a reserve. Then he transferred to UCLA because of one of his defensive coaches went over there and helped clear him. In 2023, won the Lombardi Award, nation's top offensive lineman or defensive lineman, Ted Hendricks Award, top defensive end, first team AP All American, Pac 12 Player of the Year, and first team All Pac 12 Conference Player. 21.5 tackles for loss, 13 sacks, which was fourth, 12 games, 49 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 PBUs, and 2 forced fumbles. Crevonte, Mr. Laiatu Latu. He plays. When he plays, he produces.
When he's on the field, he produces. Great, like you were saying, great size. He's about 6'5", so he's another guy that's probably going to be batting down a lot of passes from from quarterbacks, just getting his arms and hands in the passing lanes. But great size for NFL edge rushers, and shows impressive twitch and athleticism, which is that bend is one of the top things you look for. In the edge rusher, especially at his frame. Active hands, fluid hips and allows him to have a handful of pass rushing moves, and and can turn speed to power. Has a quickness to develop, inside move, just the counter, and flexible ankles for a good bend, and to get him at his top rush capabilities. So bending, and we a lot of people, we don't talk about the ankles. We don't talk about the ankle flexibility enough when we talk about edge rusher. We talk about the bend, being able to get around, being able to be fluid in the hips, which you pretty much got to be at every position. Um, Pass rusher is no different, but he does all those things very well, especially being at 6'5", and that bend is a little bit more, probably a little bit more difficult because he's kind of longer and taller, but he's still able to succeed. He's able to succeed when he does play.
Weaknesses, Crevonte, the injury history, the neck injury, but he seemed to have bounced back from it. He not only gets sacks, he gets tackles for loss, and UCLA wasn't very good, so he was a good player on a not so good team. And where do you see him projecting? Any comps, and where does he go in the draft? You said he could be a steal.
So you say suffered a neck injury at University of Washington, and that caused the school's medical staff to medically retire him. So he's gone through some adversity. So that's a nice little chip that you wouldn't mind as a prospect, because at the next level, it's going to be all adversity. You don't know what type of adversity, but him being able to basically not play for 2 years and still able to come back and be effective. Because at one point, man, they was talking about he was edge one, he was edge rusher number one, and who knows if you'd have played the 2 years, would he still be in school, and two, how high would he rank in this year's class? But the injuries, the medicals, similar to our to Michael Penix on the offensive side, which is school he was once at, but the medicals check out, this will be a steal. But even if the medicals check out, we're weary because I say it all the time. Her players stay hurt, and unfortunately, he missed 2 years due to a neck injury. And a neck injury is very, you can't play with those. You know what I'm saying? You got to take those very, very, very seriously. It only ended one of the great quarterbacks ever in Peyton Manning. So you got to be very, very cautious and take those very, very, very seriously.
Pro comp.
Interesting. So I had a couple, Joey Bosa and TJ Watt. My just a disruptor. However you see fit of a disruptor, it's him. When he's healthy and he's on the field, he's very, very, very productive. You can't he's one of those guys that jumps off your screen. Maybe because he's 6'5", but yeah, he really, really jumps off the screen.
Where do you see him going at? I mean, is he a top 20, 25 guy? Maybe does he fall to the end where the Ravens, 49ers, the Chiefs, teams like that, the Eagles, like you mentioned, have an embarrassment of riches, could use a guy like him possibly. Steelers, you said.
So again, offensive driven draft, especially in the first round. So couple teams to look at: Buffalo Bills, Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and also let's not forget the Cardinals and the Vikings do have 2 picks in the first round. Now, word on the street, Minnesota may use it to move up, but as of right now, as it stands, they do have 2 first-round picks, so they're very much available. So Steelers at 20, Dolphins at 21. We have the Lions. You know what I'm saying? The defense was their Achilles heel. In the for pretty much the entire year, and in the playoffs just couldn't get those key stops. And of course, the round out the first round, as it stands, the Ravens, 49ers, and Chiefs all could use a pass rusher, because again, you can never have too many pass rushers.
Do you think he's going to hold up Crevonte, or only time will tell?
Only time will tell, man. You know, the injuries, especially those injuries and those select in those spots, like the neck, hamstrings, the things like that, just that can like pop up every now and then. Is a lot of pain tolerance. um how does he feel after this past season, because he was out for 2 years? Now that could have went positively or it could have went negatively. Like that second year that he was out was just, is probably not safe for you to play. So during that time, he probably just worked out a lot and really strengthened the muscles that where his injury happened. So yes, I think only time will tell. But if he's on the field, you'll get a very, very productive prospect.
Productive prospect, just like you are, Crevonte, the most productive. Laiatu Latu. Be intriguing to see where he goes. I'm rooting for him. I think he has big time potential, like you said, Crevonte. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he can produce.
Indeed, indeed, completely agree.
And we keep producing these draft profiles here on the Flex Zone podcast. Only place giving you the draft coverage, Crevonte, how you want it.
When you need it.
We'll see you on the next one.